Hey guys, welcome. It is Tuesday evening. I don't even know what day it is, the 11th. So we're a little over a week into the month. Um, I originally had planned on having Stephanie Foreman on to talk about some things that she is doing, but she is under the weather right now. And so we'll get her on the next time because she's doing some amazing things as far as her fast chat and what she's sharing to get these people on as distributors. But I wanted to come on tonight, so I had to throw something together because that kind of was my plan. I threw something together tonight talking about IPAs and being intentional about your IPAs and what you're doing. We all know what we're supposed to be doing, but how to make the best out of the 30 minutes we've got, the 45 minutes, the hour, the 3 hours, 4 hours, however much time you've got set aside to doing your Xyngular business, and how to get the best out of your IPAs. So the first thing on my list is basically being open. We are social selling, so we have to be sharing on our Facebook pages, our social media pages. And it doesn't necessarily mean spammy. I don't necessarily share a whole lot of transformations on my personal wall, but my stories, I utilize my stories on my Instagram and my Facebook constantly. You will very rarely not see a transformation or something about Xyngular in my stories. People need to know that you're open. If they don't, they're going to go somewhere else. This is the harvest time. People are looking for weight loss, thinking about their skin, we're getting ready for the beach, whatever. They're going to look for something. And if they think, okay, well, Colette used to do this thing, let me go look. And if you don't have anything on your Facebook wall, they're going to think that you're a fly by night and that you're gone somewhere else. And Colette, I'm not calling you out. I just said your name because you were right there. So, but you know what I'm saying? If you don't know, if you go drive by the store that you're wanting to go into and you don't see a lights on or you don't see an open sign on, what are you going to do? If you need something, you're going to go to the next store to find it. So keep that in mind, that if your open sign's not on, somebody's going to go elsewhere and look for what they're looking for, whether that be the collagen or the vitamins or, or the health products or whatever. And that's why sharing not just weight transformations, but share what products you take during the day. I took a picture this morning. I haven't made a post yet, but take a picture of the few, things that you take first thing in the morning, and then go into one of your picture apps and write a little saying about what each one of them do, what the omegas do, the multi-nutrients, the action, that sort of thing. So share that, because it may not be weight loss that somebody's looking for. So always have your open sign on. Share your journey too, y'all. You've got to keep your story fresh. I loved what Colette did yesterday. I think it was sharing her large shirt that she was into. It's not always about the scales. It's about the non-scale victories. Getting a different bra size, whatever it is. Me getting into a size 14, the scales aren't really moving a whole lot, but the inches are still going away. So share that. Those type stories are good for your Facebook page on your wall. Heartfelt, not a copy and paste, because the algorithms of Facebook are going to know that you're copying and pasting even out of a closed group onto your Facebook wall. They're going to know it. They do not like side-by-side pictures, comparison side in a pic collage side by side. If you want to do a comparison picture, do 2 full pictures, if that makes sense. Don't do a double picture side by side, but do a whole picture of your before or a whole picture of your after. It will come up side by side, but it's not an actual side by side. I did see that was one of the algorithm things, that they do not like it. And if you've noticed, you can post a personal post and then post a transformation and you don't get any likes on it. You don't get any hits on it. If you make it more personable and make it yourself, I think they do a face recognition and they see that it's actually you in that picture, and that will be seen a lot more than somebody else that's not your friend. That's why usually I don't post a transformation on my personal wall and just use my stories. So if you do share, change it up. Don't just do a copy and paste out of the testimonial group. Share what your friends' results are. If you've got a friend that's on an 8-day, ask them if you can shout them out. Colette started that in the transformation group, and I'm calling Colette out a lot. She's in the middle of my screen, and it's just, it is what it is. But Colette started that out, shouting out these people on their 8-day. They may not want to share, but you can screenshot your messages and put them in your stories. And, look at what my friend's done on day 3, and you can, if you don't have their permission, just take and squiggle their name out, or their little profile icon out, if you don't want to do any of that, and just say, hey, I love helping my friends. Look at this message that I got this morning. So anyways, so the first one is make sure that you're open. Make sure that your business sign is open 24/7, where you get that person that can't sleep at night and they're flipping through Facebook or they're flipping through stories and they're like, oh, well, I could lose weight. Maybe I need to get in touch with Kim. I'll go with somebody else. But so make sure that you're open. The second one is friending and adding to your friends list and removing from your friends list. Okay. And you're going to think, why are you removing somebody? And you're going to have to remove people from your friends list because you're going to run out of room. But how to friend, it's so powerful on the friends that you want to gain. You definitely want to gain your friends that that your friends know, school friends, that sort of thing. But go into your friends list, or even watch on your friends' posts and see who comments all the time. See who's active on Facebook. See who everybody responds to. You get that popular person that everybody wants to respond to, or everybody wants to hear. Tammy, you just rejoin. All of a sudden I saw 2 over and then one of them was gone. Find that person that's influential. Find somebody that you think would be good at this for the business. They might need to lose weight, but think about the business end of it, y'all. And when you friend this person, and this kind of goes with one of the other IPAs, and I'll go back into it a little bit more. If you see that person that you're thinking, wow, I like what she's saying, I like what she represents, whatever, like her personality, as much as you can tell on Facebook, write that person down on your list. That list that we're supposed to be writing for the 20 people, or, whatever it is for the 90-day run, write that person down. I just friended an attorney, and I've been watching her posts, and I'm like, okay, she's going on my list. She's going on my radar list. So write those people down. You can always X them off. It doesn't mean you have to reach out to them, but just watch them and see what, it's always your first impression of them as far as, what you think of them. So if you're hooked when you friend them, then there might be a reason. So then just kind of keep an eye on them, just keep a radar on them and kind of go from there. If you find out that person's negative, go back in and delete them a week later. They'll never know. You don't want the negativity anyways on your Facebook wall. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to see it. So if they're negative, and I almost unfriended a lot of Georgia fans yesterday too. Let me just say, just really, really close to unfriended. I might have hit the unfollow button on several of them today. So, but that's all just in fun. But you know what I'm saying? That person that's always griping, you don't want that drama, and you don't want that drama in your business either. And if they're going to share that kind of drama on their Facebook wall, then they're going to be a drama queen in real life too. So, so definitely, look who you're friending. So I'll go on your friends list and friend mutual friends. I always, 5, 6, 7 friends or more. If it's just got one friend in common, that's kind of weird. Unless it's got to do with like my Jeep groups, and I know that they're in a specific year model Jeeps, then I will friend them, because I do have an ulterior motive with our Jeep parts and stuff like that. So
do that. If you are in interest groups, horse groups, or you know, whatever, like I'm in Jeep groups, I'm in a Rottweiler group, I'm in photography groups, or whatever. If you're active in there and you can build relationships up in there, you can make some friends in there as well. You know, try to build that relationship up in these other groups as well as on your Facebook page as well. And then that will get you into a whole different market of people. You know, I've gotten back into my Breyer models, my horse models, and I have friended a lot of people that are into the Breyer horses here recently. So that's getting me into another network that I would have never thought about. And that's kind of like us crazy horse people. We'll friend people just because we might need that contact later on. And that's kind of the same in the Jeep industry and in the Breyer horses too. You get into that same little niche of people and they're like, oh, well, I might, you know, she's going to be interesting because she's into the same type stuff I am. So do that. Then make your list. That list, keep it with your, I've got my list in the back of my prospect book list. I've got a notebook that I carry that's my prospect book list. And in the very back, I've started my chicken list. But I've started that list and that's just, it's there. You know, if that person pops up when I'm scrolling Facebook, I can write their jot their name down. Unfriending people. So birthdays, messages are one of those things that we talk to you about as far as doing IPAs. They are also a good way to go back in and unfriend. You start building up your friends list. You know, you might have 10, 15 friends a day. It's a good time to go in, click on their name and see if they're active or not. If they're not active, if they haven't been posting, and I usually, if it's just a few months, if they're not active, I usually let them go. And a lot of times it's because they can't get back into their Facebook page, you know, so it's just a dead space anyways. So if they're not active on Facebook, they're not going to see your posts. They're probably not going to join you in Xyngular at all. So that's when I unfriend. I go in and I look at the comments and, what list you cut out when you mentioned about a list in the back of my book, your chicken list book, I mean, your chicken list, people that you want to do business with, that you think that would be good at, sorry, will you turn that down? People that you want to do business with or that you think would be good in the business. People that you are going to intentionally reach out to and let them know about your business. And Tammy Glowacki has been doing the 90-day run, and we talked about this today, about sharing tools and intentionally reaching out. And you're not cold messaging them, but you are reaching out to them as a friend. And ask them to check out a video or that sort of thing. But Angie, get with your upline on how to do all that. I don't want this to go too long, but that's definitely something, you know, on that list, because you want to build a team. You want to build a successful team of people that want to run. Okay, so that's it on the friending and being intentional about adding and subtracting. And I think if you're going to add 10 people a day, that subtracting is just as important as adding. So you can add 5 and subtract 5. I don't care, but I think it's just as important. Also friending, and Sherlynn's not on here. I know she had asked a question the other day and I'll touch on it real quick. If you friend a lot of people and they don't accept it, it can put you like in a Facebook jail, and they don't like that. So don't just hit friend, because Facebook is going to figure it out. They're going to think that you're spam or that you're a robot or whatever, and it's not going to work for you. So just get in the habit of just doing a few a day. And that's why I think removing them also kind of stirs it up a little bit. I don't know that, but I just think that that's just a good practice to do. But don't just go friend 20 people every day. And I know some of the IPAs may say that. I don't think any of ours do, but I think that's going to get you into trouble. And I'm trying to keep you out of Facebook jail. Kim knows all about Facebook jail. Your follow-ups. So
very, very important. IPAs, it's like on the non-negotiable that you've got to do. You've got to be following up with people that are on their 8 days. Very, very important. Follow up with your product users, checking in with them. If there's a script, there's a schedule and boards. If you're not familiar with boards, get with your upline and they will explain it to you. Very, very helpful, but have some kind of routine down for a follow-up. And I'm not the best at this, y'all. I'm preaching to the choir as far as my follow-ups and on my members. Leslie said sometimes Facebook's stops your requesting if you have a bunch that haven't accepted. Yep. And there's a way to go in and clear those out. I think you have to do that on your computer. I don't think you can do it on your phone. I'll look into that and I'll explain that some other time. But following up with your product users, and following up with the people on your 8 day, and not just following up with the products, but also following up with the business aspect of it. I don't know the statistics on it, but it's what, 10 to 12, 15 touches before somebody signs up. And it's the same way with the business, y'all. It's the same way. If you've got a product user that loves the products, why not reach out to them and tell them about the business? They may not know about it, but why not ask them for referrals too? You know, if they don't want the business, they might have friends that they might benefit off of whatever. Ask them to introduce you, you know, or ask them to add them to the testimonial groups. So follow up with that. Follow up with your prospects. Choose an amount a day. You know, is it 5 a day that you're following up with prospects? Is it 10 a day? You know, what is it? 1 out of 100 people that you talk to are going to enroll. So the more you talk to, it's a numbers game. The more you talk to, the more enrollments that you're going to get. And be authentic about it. You know, don't just say, hey, are you ready to buy? Go in and ask them what questions they have. You know, are you ready to get started? You know, what questions do I have about any specific products that you are looking at? And it doesn't necessarily, the follow-ups don't necessarily have to be about Xyngular either. They can be, you know, how was your Christmas? You know, plans for the new year, plans, you know, on your birthday messages, you know, strike up a conversation and ask them, you know, if they have any plans for their birthday, you know, or anything specific, or, you know, something like that. Just, you've got to be authentic, y'all. And I have found out that going in and commenting, this will go into one of my other being active on social media, which is my next step. But going in and commenting on friends' posts, it is so important to get that algorithm confused. They want you to be social. You know, if you're just going in and liking posts or loving posts, that's okay. But I have noticed that I'm seeing more friends in my Facebook news feeds because I'm intentional about going and commenting. If I'm sitting down watching TV and I'm not really into whatever I'm watching, and I've got a few minutes, then I'll just sit there and I'll just scroll and I'll comment on every post that comes up that I can authentically comment on, if that makes sense. I'm not going to comment on somebody's kids because, so you know what I'm saying? I mean, just be authentic on what you're saying. Very, very important. Being active on social media, commenting on your friends' posts or their stories, y'all. I've been using stories a whole lot. I've been commenting on their stories, and that sends a direct message to them. So that starts a conversation. And those direct messages, they think, okay, Facebook thinks you're direct messaging that person that you need to see more of them. So that's when their stuff comes up in your news feed and vice versa, because y'all got a conversation going on in Messenger. It builds your algorithms. Be active on your testimonial posts too. That pulls that post into your friends' news feeds. You know, if you comment congratulations on somebody, it shows them that you're being supportive too. Yep, being active in the group. And something else, this is going to scare everybody. Being active on social media, you also need to be doing lives. You don't have to show your face. The way I got over my fears was showing my horses live and showing my Jeeps live. I wasn't even on it. I would talk, but they didn't see my face. Also, that means I didn't have to do my makeup either. So, and I won't do it. You very rarely will see me on a live on Facebook without my makeup on. But doing lives, in your stories, posting and using polls, ask questions, have them answer, do you need information, and be creative. I don't ever give them a yes or no. I always go in and really it's a 2 yes question. It's just, help me, or yes, I absolutely need help. You know what I'm saying? So kind of twist it up. Don't give them a yes or no answer, but give them 2 yeses. And you might not always get answers, but it's a good way for interaction, and Facebook likes that. Being authentic in your posts, building relationships on Facebook is huge. We talked about the birthday messages, new friends, even do belated. I heard somebody that they don't wish them a happy birthday on the day of their birthday because they're getting so many messages. They actually are like 2 and 3 days behind, because you can still, at least I can still see them on my Facebook. Or you can do, a day before, get you a rhythm down and do belated. And then ask them a question, make them interact with you. Cynthia Evans talks about her birthday messages, and everybody usually comes back and says thank you. If they don't, I usually unfriend them after about the 1st or 2nd year, because I think that's just rude. If they don't message, send a thank you back, but they usually come back and say thank you. If they do, then say you're very welcome. How have you been? If it's somebody you personally know, then how's your husband doing, or whatever. Ask them a question to get them to build up the relationship, and ask them how work's going. And that's what Cynthia talks about. Cynthia asks them how their job's going or how work's going, and then that leads into her conversation as far as with the business. So that's a good way. New friend messages, when somebody does accept your friend request, or if they send you a friend request, just go in and introduce yourself. If it's a horse person, sometimes I'll go in and tell them what I've got, and ask them what they've got. And then the Jeep person, I kind of do the same thing. Hey, we're old school. What year model Jeep do you have? 6, this is huge. And I did a lot of it in this past year, and that's personal development and trainings, plugging in. I can say that my plugging in 2021 was horrible. Staying plugged in with what all I had going on. I felt very disconnected, and I don't like that feeling. So getting on trainings Monday night, it's room at the top. There's 2 trainings during the day, or 1 during the day and 1 at night. Tuesday night is ours. Thursday night, if you're in the 90-day run, we've got the new Zoom for that. Saturdays, we've got rank makers. Put them in your calendar. You may not be able to watch them live. That's fine. Totally fine. We get it. Go back in and watch them on a replay. Go back in and support your team. Have that connection. It's huge. If you get to where you're watching all the room at the tops, go search in the search bar on room at the top. And I did a lot of this my first year. Is I love listening to Freddie. So I'd type in Freddie's name, and I'd go in and I'd listen to all of Freddie's, posts. Or if, Stephanie Miller was another one that I listened to all the time. Just type in somebody's name as far as a leader, and all of their trainings will pop up. But staying plugged in is huge. Reading, I don't read. I can't stand it. It's just not me. I listen to Audible. Whether I'm cleaning stalls, putting my makeup on, if I'm always getting dressed and taking a shower, put my makeup on, I've got one of my podcasts going. My favorite right now is Ed Milet. I absolutely just love his stuff. It's a podcast I listen to. Even if it's a short inspirational video off of YouTube, subscribe to some of those. You can find them for 10, 15 minutes. Ed Milet's things are usually about 40, 45 to an hour. So that's what it takes me to get ready. So those are perfect for me. Gratitude, every morning start off with gratitude. What are you thankful for? Even if it hasn't happened today, what are you thankful for? In my planner, in my daily planner, it's got a section for gratitude, and you can write down, it's got a little area that you can write down in gratitude. And I need to get back in that habit. And it can be something simple. I mean, even just waking up today, that I'm thankful for that. So, your I am statements is also another very powerful personal development, sticky notes on your mirrors. Some people use dry erasers on their mirrors, and those I am statements are on there. You got to breathe belief into yourself. Other people are great, but if you don't believe it yourself, then it's not going to happen. And then, and back on plugging into the trainings, if you're listening live or the replay, post on there that you're listening to them. For one, your upline's going to see that and say, okay, well, Dawn's on here, but also your downline, your success lines. If they're seeing that you're staying plugged in, then it's going to be huge for them to say, okay, well, if it's important for Dawn to do it, or Stephanie or Leslie to do it as an executive, then I must be doing it too. I need to be doing it. So invite the power to change. That's kind of a no given. That is a staple. I usually stick to 20 a day. And I don't do them all at once. I do a few in the morning and I'll do a few in the afternoons. And it's just kind of random. I'll just type in some letters on the search bar and I'll add a few people from there. And that's how I do my ads. Keeping up and tracking what you do. The IPA sheets are huge. If you don't have an IPA sheet or a book, then get with any of us, and we've all got different versions and what works for us, and you've got to find something that works for you, because what works for me is not going to work for Kim, is not going to work for Carmen, is not going to work for Elsa. And you know what I'm saying? You've got to find something that works for you. So writing stuff down is what works for me. Teamsy, I haven't done it. I have. I cannot keep up with it. My plans are to do it. I'm not telling you not to do it. It's a great tool. If I don't have it in front of me, I'm not going to do it. And I can wipe off the Teamsy because it's right here on my screen. So that's a goal of mine, to get that back up and going, because I know it is a huge tool, but it's more powerful for me to have them written down. So find something that works for you. Find a rhythm that works for you and go to work. However long you've got to do it, whether it's 15 minutes here and there, make time to do it. Got a couple of things. One of them was a quote that I saw today that kind of resonated with me for here. Celebrate the small wins. The small wins build momentum. So think about that. Pick those hard things, which is what Tammy Glowacki told me today. Pick 2 hard things a day and make them happen. Do them first. Your follow-ups are hard for you, then do those first. Reward yourself with something that's easy. If you enjoy checking in on your members, do that last. For instance, I hate drinking water. Okay. I make myself drink whatever this thing is. It's 60 ounces, 50 ounces every morning when I wake up before I have my shake, because I know my shake is my reward. I do not drink my shake until that bottle is gone. I know that. So do something like that that's going to motivate you, to make you do the IPAs. Reward yourself when you do them. I talked to Locke today, which is my field development guy, and Locke, when I was losing my weight, I rewarded myself when I got to a certain weight with something. Might have been an Alabama shirt, might have been whatever. Why am I not doing that with my daily IPAs? Why am I not being consistent enough and rewarding myself? So if you're having a hard time sticking to your must-do IPAs each day, reward yourself. Okay, Dawn, you're going to do your IPAs for a week straight, 7 days straight. On the end of that 7th day, I'll go buy a new briar. Whatever your reward is. Reward yourself for sticking with it. You don't have to wait on somebody else to pat you on the back and say, good job. Reward yourself with something. So 2 hard things a day. And then I'm going to put a challenge out there, and then we'll open it up for questions, because I'd love to hear if anybody's got any struggles or got anything they want to add. What are you willing to do out of your comfort zone each day. I want to challenge you all to do one thing, just one thing that's out of your comfort zone each day to make yourself better and to grow, because you're not going to grow. If I can find this little thing on Instagram that I heard, you're not going to grow in your comfort zone. Yeah. I want y'all to listen to this. It's like 2 seconds long. And this is Ed Milet.
Not really. It's when you're not feeling, it's not your best day. How do you do that? Carries you through as rituals. How did you? People ask me that all the time, and the answer is I did it, and neither did you to become successful. The separator in life is really important. The most inspired, motivated person wins. Nah, not really. It's the person who can work on the days they're not inspired. What do you do when you're not feeling great? What do you do when it's not your best day? How do you do that? It carries you through as rituals and habits. How did you stay?
Y'all hear that? Could you hear it good? No. I'll try to share it in Team Bless. I don't know that I can because it's on Instagram, but it's just, how do you stay motivated? And it's just consistency. It's just consistency. It's doing the hard stuff and getting through and just putting your mind to it and going to work. I'm speaking to the choir. I have not been the best, and I'm just being honest. Find an accountability partner, find something that pushes you. Find something that works. If you need help, reach out. I think all of us are willing to, and it doesn't matter what level you're on, how long you've been here. It doesn't matter, but just find somebody that's going to help you push yourself and do the hard things, because you're not going to grow. None of us, we aren't going to grow in our comfort zone, in our little circle. You're going to stay compliant. You're just going to stay. So anyways, I'm gonna open it up to questions or struggles. If you've got something that you're struggling with, we can stop the recording. I don't know, your questions may benefit others, so we'll let it go. But if the recording, makes you uncomfortable, then I'll stop it. But I'd love to hear what people are struggling with. If you've got questions, and then the other four can jump, or the other three can jump on here and give their suggestions too. Anybody, just feel free to unmute. We'll just do it. Post it on my story. Great things never come from your comfort zone. You're right. You're right. 100% you're right, Colette.
All right. So I'm going to take your challenge.
Okay.
Because one of my biggest things is posting me. I will post pictures of my horses. I'll post all of that. I'm really bad about, and I see like the top leaders, I watch Christy Bland, and I watch Cass Lowe, and I watch Robin, and I watch all these people, and they're building their brand, right? By doing pictures. Stephanie is amazing at it, right? She's always putting stuff on stories, and she's doing her little stuff, which I've got to get better at. So my challenge to myself is, and I'm telling you, my biggest thing is I am one of those girls who needs to have her makeup on, and she needs to have her hair done, because I don't want people to see the real me. I don't want people to see I don't wear makeup. I'm a horse girl. And if I'm not going to town and I'm just going out to the barn, I'm not going to get all dressed up and gusty up. So then I don't get myself, and I don't do any branding of myself. So that is something that's hard for me. So thank you, Dawn. That's my motivation, is to be better. And I'm really excited. And I'm really excited because I couldn't do it for the last 2.5 weeks, in which January 1st, that's what I was going to start doing. But my phone, you can't take a selfie with, because it was broke, and it was right at the camera. So my new phone came in today, and I'm super excited to try it.
So no excuses now.
Well, how long can my hair stay curly? Because I don't have to do it every day.
There are awesome filters out there that makes your face look like it's got makeup on it. And
Well, you'll have to share those with me and help me with those.
you've got an iPhone, I've got an Android, I can't help you.
Oh, honey.
So anybody else want to share or take my challenge and say what they're going to do this week and concentrate on? Stephanie's stuffing her face.
I will, Dawn. My comfort zone is actually talking to people about the business, and it shows for the last 5 years. I just, unless if they turn me down or they say, you know, I just want to do this and that's it, I've stopped. I just leave them alone because I want them to be my customer. I don't want to give them pressure. And then next thing you know, I'm getting invited to Pampered Chef or Tupperware or some other thing that they're doing. And I'm like, I thought you didn't want to do anything. I thought you don't sell, you know, and I've told them I don't sell either. You know, I share. If you love it, I want to give you the info and get you going. But I'm not a salesperson. I want to be a salesperson. I go work at, you know, I work at a sales store if I want to be a salesperson. But I just have that block of reapproaching someone after a while and saying, hey, you're doing so great. And I hear so many great ways to do it, but I don't do it. I just have that big mental block of doing it, even though I hear great ways to open up the door. I just always keep it locked. And I'm gonna try really hard this week to meet your challenge and approach my old customers and my customers that are with me still and say, hey, you know, I know you love their products. Don't you think you should be sharing with your friends how great and how good they are? I think I'm going to try that approach, but that's what I'm going to do, Dawn.
You just gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta figure out the wording that works for you, Kim. You've got to figure out, and Tammy said this on the 90-day run, you're practicing. So shoot it to friends that are going to be honest with you. You know, shoot it to me or shoot it to, you know, a relative or whatever. And you got to practice and practice only. I heard something earlier, and I wish I could remember it. You know, you always hear practice makes perfect. Well, there's no perfect. The world's not perfect, but practice makes you better. So that's what you've got to strive for and you just got to find what works for you as far as wording. Leslie, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, and thank you, Dawn. That's true, because practice does. So I think that as coaches and leaders and friends, in those chats that you have set up, that's where you come in and you put that information in there so that then we can help run with it, so that we can help you and we can see what you're saying to your friends. So always do it in your success chats or your info chats and let us help in that respect as well.
And I think when we get Stephanie Foreman on here, the way she runs her prospect chats are really good. I'm not going to steal her thunder, so I'm not going to go into it. But I like it. I've tweaked it and going to start using it. So I think, you know, we just got to ask them if they want their investment back. Do you want to earn your investment back? And just do it that way. They damn sure don't want to start a business, you know? So, I mean, you just got to ask them, do they want their money back, basically, without returning it. So.
Right. And so, Dawn, that's, again, if you go back and listen to 9 at 9, and if you guys aren't on those text threads that Jennifer McKinney sends every single day, then you need to let us know, and we will send you how to text and get on that list so that you get that notification every day. Now, it's the 9 at 9, and sometimes it is at 9 at 9, and sometimes it's not. It's Central Time every morning, but they also do recordings. So if you can't make it at 9 at 9, she always then posts the recordings. So they're 9-10 minutes long. They're super simple, super easy. And Jennifer's always going to be right on it. Nicole Ketting and Melissa Adams goes on there. And, you know, she's always bringing different people in. But she had Lori Ulrich on. And today is really a good one on how to bring up the business.
Anybody else?
Done. So my thing is also talking about the business. Like, I do bring it up, but I'm kind of like Kim. If they say no, then I don't really like, I'm intimidated to go back. And then because I think that what's going to happen in my head is they're just going to say no and then like stop buying product. And I'm like, crap. So I lost business and I lost that business too. So it's just, I don't know.
That's in your head.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who it was. Well, Melissa Adams' story. Melissa will tell you that she told Lacey Friend that if she friggin' told her one more time about the business, that she was going to send her kit back. And look where Melissa Adams is at right now. So, I mean, you don't ever know. And just think, the biggest thing we have here is the opportunity, and more people want to make more money than what they do than losing weight. You know what I'm saying? And for you to not think that they don't need it and to keep following up, but you know, that's when your not prospects, but your Inspire calls work. You know, you grab somebody that's a like-minded person like them, that whether law enforcement, you grab Stacy be more like, you know what I'm saying? You grab somebody like that, and maybe it's just to share their weight loss story, but then you can say, you know, Stacy can come in and say, well, I just retired from law enforcement, you know, 3 years early or something like that.
Right.
You just kind of got to drip on them as far as that.
Right.
It's hard. I'm the same way. I think we all are, you know, but there's a way to do it that works for you, that's not spammy, and it doesn't seem like that you're pushing them. You know, do you want to get your investment back? I mean, who wouldn't want to make their investment back off of it and just get their products paid for? And I think that's what a lot of people use, you know, just to say, because we know that they can be pricey. I mean, for the for the average person, we all know that's probably why we all stayed in here, was to get our products paid for, you know, and it just turned into more because then we saw the vision. So just challenge yourself this week, you know, Elsa. Just, you know, if you've got that long-time customer that you've never reached out to, go ask them if they want to get, you know, hey, you're on the products, you love them. Can I show you how to share this with some friends and get your investment back and see what it does? All they can do is say no. It's not going to kill you, and they're not going to get turned off. And you know, something else you can do is compliment them. If it's somebody that's been on the products for a long time, compliment them. Say, hey, I love your attitude. I love, you know, your Facebook walls. You're very positive. You know, I know you love the products. You've been on them for 6 months or whatever. You're having amazing results. You know, let's chat when you have time and try to get them on a call. You know, somebody, oh, it's Tammy today. The comment, you know, that Eric, that's his biggest thing, is he says, get these people on a phone call. And I know we're all of us probably have some part of us that's an introvert that we just don't want to get on a phone call. I am guilty. I would rather text and message somebody than to get on that friggin' phone. It's just, and that's one of my goals. That's one of my goals, is to start connecting people, because I haven't been doing it. And I'm being honest. So, you know, try that. Try to just those people that are happy, you know, that are on the products and happy. Connect them with somebody. Do two.
Right.
Just do 2 a week.
Thanks. I will definitely work on that this week.
All right. Are you feeling better, by the way?
Yeah. Today was my today was my first full day at work. I had to take frequent breaks because I was on the computer most of the day. And then second day in the gym, I didn't pass out. So that was a plus. So yeah,
Good.
we're getting there slowly but
Good.
surely.
Good, good, good. Anybody else want to speak up and say what they're going to do this week that makes them uncomfortable? Tammy's already doing it.
Mm. Yeah, I am doing it. My head's spinning. Woo, that's why I'm kind of quiet. I'm just in the world of spin. But I've loved this training, Dawn. Spot on, like super valuable. I've loved the tools that you've put out there. I've taken notes, lives and polls and great, great content. And, one of the things in this Eric Worre group, he talks about is being in a hurry, talking on the phone, being in a hurry, complimenting and asking. And that can be, hey, I only got a quick minute, just wanted to reach out to you, been on my mind lately. You're so active in the community, you're so engaged. I've always admired how organized you are. I watch you all the time, like I look up to you. If I sent you this video, would you watch it? And then wait for their response. If I sent you, if I sent you a 3 to 7 minute video, would you watch it? I would love your feedback. Like, I'd love your feedback. Your energy is incredible. I know that you've got a lot of experience, whatever you want to say, compliment them. And then say, would you be willing then to give me some feedback? I'm thinking about taking this to another level. But as it relates to customers, Dawn, one thing because as much as we coach, I have developed a lot of relationships with people where basically I have said, sweetheart, listen here, girlfriend. Okay, now how long have we been doing this? We've been doing this for about 3 months. Imagine, here's what I would like you to do. I want you to invite 10 friends to the Power to Change. I just want you to do it. I just see what the level of interest is going to be. They're still going to like me. I'm not saying put your before and afters. And so sometimes it's not they don't want it, but they don't believe they know how to do it. They just don't believe that they can do it or that it takes too much time. So I don't know. That's what I do with a lot of people. And then another thing he said, but I do have to do this is, I can talk about products all day long. I can talk to you about products and I can share with you. And if you sign up or don't sign up, I'm just going to keep moving. That's what I'm going to keep doing. I have been more intentional about my posts since this Eric Worre thing. But he said it's like a muscle. And if you don't exercise a muscle about sharing about the business, it will always stay a weak muscle. And a weak muscle is something we just don't use. And so it's not going to be the first thing that comes out of our mouth because we don't feel confident. We don't feel strong. We don't even use that muscle. It's a weak muscle. And so what he was saying is the only way to get out of it is to go through it and to talk about the business, because that's what's going to develop your belief in the business and in yourself. And he goes, eventually people are going to be attracted to you because of your level of confidence. And just like with the products, you won't really care if they join or don't join because you are that confident in what you're doing because your muscle is strong. So that's something that I've reached out to 2 people, a doctor yesterday and a dad who's big in sales. And they were kind of my hard people, but I did do it. And I would have never done that if it wouldn't have been for this group I'm in to get out of my comfort zone. So anyway, I do like what's out there, and I can see just the power of, and he used another analogy just real quick, like honey. And we know this, but like a funnel, you put one piece of honey or one drip of honey. That honey is not going to get to the bottom. It is not. It's not. You put 3 drips of honey. Chances are it is not. And then sometimes people put the honey up in the cupboard and it gets hard. And he said, you have to put a lot of drips of honey into your funnel. You have to put a lot, make the muscle strong, because then some of it is going to hit the bottom. and those are your builders. But we get scared, So customers are great, builders make it fun. And so that's it.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank y'all ladies. This went a little longer, but I think it was good. I'll try to add that little inspirational video from Instagram. I don't know if it'll work, but maybe I can share it. Maybe I can screen record it. I bet you I can do that. Maybe I can figure that out. But anyways, thank y'all very much. Push yourself, write a list, what makes you uncomfortable, and check one off a week. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't try to do it all at once, because if you are, you're going to shut down. I mean, and I did. I mean, I have a lot just shut down by getting overwhelmed. So, well, thank y'all very, very much. Next Tuesday night is Tammy. It's Tammy. We'll be back here at same time, different channel, but same time. And I greatly appreciate it. Y'all reach out if you have any problems, any questions. That's what we're all here for. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank y'all.